What's up, guys? We are at Joliet Test and Tune. We are at Route 66 Dragway in Joliet, Indiana. Today, again, is a test and tune. So there's no official timing, no official grid, no official nothing besides this get seat time, test and tune. As you guys know, we have quite a bit done to the Mustang. We got the 305 squared, we got the harnesses, and we only had one event or one or two events with the suspension that we did from last season. So it's a good day. Course is simple but fast, but simple. So it probably, if I had to guess, 30 to 40 seconds. Nothing too crazy, able to keep people going on the track. We have Clement in his Golf R, and then we got Chase already in grid all the way over there by the Mustang, getting ready to go. It's all heavy on the helmet. I'll just talk you through it. There's not a ton of people here, but there's quite a bit. So I'm working the 2 to 3. The event ends at 4. So I'll drive all day to 2 to 3 and maybe get a couple laps in after we're done working, or just load up and go. We're not 100% sure. And then tomorrow we're going to Joliet for their first point event where it actually matters and counts. So we're getting pretty close to getting ready to get out there. I'm just letting the Mustang warm up, and then I'll get my helmet on, get my straps in, and then we'll go for our first run. All right, this is my first run. I only walked the course one time, so I'm not 100% sure what it is anymore. Cold tires, cold track, winds up. There has been a few cars on track, so most of the marbles and rocks should be gone. But we're gonna take this nice and slow for the first run or two, get some heat in the tires and then get used to the track. Nothing too crazy. Harnesses feel pretty good. Looks like they hit some cones in front of me. There are a lot of cones that they're fixing. Quite a bit of damage going on. Of course, it would be mine. Not bad for our first run. Not bad at all. 37.450. Tires were pretty good. The course definitely chokes you up quite a bit, but we'll get used to that the more we drive and get used to the course and the tires warm up. But first run, I'm going to say that was pretty decent. On number 2, tires were a little cold from how cold the weather got over the past couple days. It's still end of April, so it still got down pretty cold in the 40s. So the PSI went down 2. But I kind of like it so far. We'll see how they get when they're hot. I had 26s in the rear and 28s up front. It felt pretty decent. The motor is now warmer. Oil temp and everything's better where it should be. So we're going to probably spin off the line to generate some heat into the tire. The front tires should gain heat due to the left and right that's going on out there. They are 305s. They are a big track width. And there goes Clement's first ever run. So there he goes. Got the harnesses readjusted a little tighter so it's not as loose, to try to keep me in place a little better. So here we go. You're gonna have to get used to the harnesses. It keeps me a little tighter so everything feels a bit different. So here we go. Second run. There goes Clint rounding out at the end. It's going pretty fast for his first run in that car, so good for him. Got another cone hit, so about to get ready. 344. Not too bad. Front tires definitely a lot of grip, but definitely cold, a lot of pushing, but that was pretty fun. We'll check the tire pressure one more time, and then going up for third run. The rear stayed pretty much at the high 26, like 26.8.9, so sorry, 25.8.9, so basically 26. The fronts went all the way up to 29.8, so I dropped those to 27. Last one, as you saw when I was trying to turn, it is severe understeer. But the fronts are going to probably heat up a little bit more. 305s up front with more oscillation back and forth. I was told to go to the right and then to the left. We'll try that, and then we'll try to the left at the first column and then at the right at the second one. We'll see, we'll play around with it. Yeah, but I'm gonna go to the right on this first one and see how that fares for me. There goes Clement. Oh, make sure we turn all the StabiliTrak and traction off. There we go. So we're going to do right on the first slalom and then left on the second. See how that fares. There we go, 31.9. We definitely got all the way up there in the RPMs. So that was pretty sick. That was a good run. I know I nicked the cone though, so we got to clean that up, but I definitely like the right and left method. That is pretty fast. So we'll do that on the next run. We'll check tire pressures and go again. This is the fifth run. As you can see, the sun came out, so it should be a little warmer. We got this go-kart to the left of me, which is pretty cool. Try not to spin and fishtail on the back. Keep the tire PSIs where they're at. I think the tire PSI is pretty decent for now until they start raising up from heat. I think 26-ish, 25-ish is good for a cold PSI. So we're just gonna keep monitoring what hot PSIs are, and then we'll have that data for the rest of the season, which is why tests and tunes are awesome. We're getting a good amount of runs. It's only 10:30. 5 runs, so not terrible. Biggest thing is we're losing a lot of time on understeering and the slaloms and spinning on the start. So try to keep those to a minimum, and then we should be doing pretty good. No, turn traction off again. I keep forgetting. Alright, here we go. Well, it definitely didn't get my time right. There's something going on with the timing. It definitely didn't get a 53, so don't know, but it felt wrong. We definitely hit rev limiter. It cut out power at the very end. so that's okay. Definitely a good run. Hopefully we can get a time next time and see what it was. I'm happy with that for sure. All right, I think this is the 6th run if I remember correctly. Sun's really out now. Air temp's even starting to come up, so maybe start getting a little bit of tire temp and I could get a little bit of hot tire data. The last run, it completely missed my time. It didn't clock the guy before me, or it didn't clock me leaving. Because it said 58 seconds, so hopefully this time I get a time. The far section, the big right-hander, felt really, really good. In terms of speed, I hit rev limiter. It completely found out the rev limiter on this is cuts throttle. So that was interesting, but it felt pretty good. So I'm pretty happy about that. Try to get another decent launch and just get better at driving. Get used to the car, make sure everything's working good. Here we go. All right, let's turn traction off and let's do this thing. We did nib a cone though, but we did get to 31.6 at rev limiter again. We're definitely moving. Definitely moving. All right, let's keep trying to get faster and faster. That's the goal. Alrighty, I got a cart in front of me, which is going to be a little interesting. Sun's out again, as you can see. Everything's going pretty decent. We're going to try to get into the 30s. That is the goal for this, is just to see if we can get into the 30s. There he goes. Alrighty. Understeer. Yeah, that understeer killed that run. All right, we got to figure that out. Other than that, the front section felt really quick. No cones, felt good. We got to figure out that understeer problem at the front. Not too shabby. We should get some tire temp now, so that should help us with it getting warmer. On to the next run. Alrighty, we're up again. Sun's out. Still mid 50s. As you know, we understeered like crazy over there where that vet is. So try not to do that. Obviously slow down. Launch was pretty decent. The slalom was really fast, so we're going to try to keep that momentum going. Just kind of fix that, see if we can get to the 30s. That is the goal. Alrighty, here we go. We understeered in that slalom section again. We're definitely fighting some understeer issues for sure. Don't really think it's PSI in the tire. It could be. I might just go up there and go up a bunch or go down a bunch just to see what it does. But the rears feel great. The power's there. It's definitely just understeery. Alrighty, we are going out for another run. I dropped the tire pressure down to 25.5 when hot. They have some heat, so if that doesn't help the understeering, then I'm going back up in pressure. Probably going to start at 32 and then go a PSI lower and lower until I find if it gets better or worse. If it's not good at 25, it's not going to get any better lowering it than 25. So I'm going to try 25 and not, and then we'll go back up and then come back down and see what it likes. And I know the alignment isn't great on this thing either, which could be a problem. But right now we're just trying to figure out tire pressures with the 305s all the way around.
12 o'clock workers, this is your 10-minute warning. 10 minutes to get prepared to work. You can check in at the back of the trailer.
Alrighty. That definitely felt better. 31.6. We're definitely losing a tenth or two by not being able to use the power all the way through the finish line. But the front end grip definitely felt better. So it seems like 25 cold and hot is where it likes to be, which is good to remember. All right, we're going back up. The 25 definitely felt better. So we're gonna keep that going. They went up a little PSI again, so dropped them back down to 25 front and rear. See how that feels. The goal is to get into the 30s. I really would like to get into the 30s. There we go. Hit a cone, so he's gonna have to go out there. Getting better. Definitely had way more grip. All right, we're starting to get there. So it seems like 25, 26 hot and 25, 26 cold is where it likes to be. So that's some good data. Now we just got to focus on driving. I'm really happy with that. All right, back up again. We had a quick turnaround on that one. Felt good. We were close. I know we're losing a tenth or two because we're hitting rev limiter. So I'm gonna have to find a way to get some time away that isn't from there. Here we go. 25 is basically front and rear 1 psi difference. 25 hot, just like how they were cold, and see if we can get into there. Go 30.9, even with the little tire fling. Feeling better. Fuck yeah, very happy with that. All right, here we go again. Relatively same tire pressure. See if we can do a double 39. Hopefully lower, or 30.9, hopefully a little bit lower. Here we go. That rev limiter has definitely cost me a couple, but that felt pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Alrighty, that was a good run. Let's see if we can just keep nibbling it down 10th by 10th by 10th. Alrighty. Here we go. We are up. I have my little lunch break. See if we can still get it. We'll check the tire pressures after this run. There we go. 30.6. Heck yeah, we're getting there. Heck yeah. We are right behind Clement. Going back up again, see if we can get even lower into the 36s. That is the goal. .25s-ish PSI again. Seems like it's been doing the trick. Here we go. little bit of time. Car feels pretty good though. Alrighty, on to the next run. All right, I'm taking a spin in Clement's Golf R, see how this is, give him some pointers, see how the car feels, and also just get to drive it. Yeah, dude.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does pretty good. Although you do need to use the brakes to rotate the car. And
honestly, I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Using the brakes helps a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't really have a problem with the rotation. It just definitely understeers like a motherfucker during the slalom. Well, that dude, I mean, it's fucking fast.
It is.
I just, and it also has this weird, like, I don't know if it's turbo lag or if it's something in the computer. When you spin or like get on throttle on gas again, there's like a delay. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
All right, taking a ride in Chase's Nismo Z for the first time. I think it's the first time I've ever really driven this thing too. The GoPro battery died when I did Clement's Golf R, so at least we'll get this on camera.
You in first.
I'm not holding that clutch in for 10 minutes. Fuck that. Dude, this thing fucking brake oversteer is insane.
Yeah, dude, it rotates like a motherfucker.
Yeah, holy shit, I was not expecting that.
Is that a good thing?
No, it's great. It's phenomenal. I just didn't think it was gonna be that nimble.
Yeah, these are awesome cars.
That was like, holy shit. You could feel the weight difference.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking night and day weight difference. Wow, that was awesome. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
All right, taking a ride with Chase in the Stang. Probably one more run after this if we get enough time. If not, this will be the last run before we got to go work. We blew that corner.
Ow, my fucking neck.
You okay?
Dude, when it snapped, my fucking head just went
Will you feel the difference?
Getting choked out by the seatbelt and my helmet all in one. Ooh.
All right, just took Chase for a ride in the Mustang. He said it was one of the craziest things he's been in. Made him a little nauseous from how much he was flailing around. His car is way more aggressive and light. Mine's much heavier with more power, so it throws you around way more because there's more weight. He's actually going up on grid right now, driving it for the first time on the Test and Tune event. So we're gonna record him taking off, and then we'll catch him at the end to see how he feels about it. right, this is probably the last run of the day before we got to work. Definitely the last run of the day before we got to work. We only got about 9 minutes. So definitely our last run, and then we'll go up for our work assignments. And then we'll probably be done for the day because we still got to drive home, and we got South Bend tomorrow. I did my goal. We got into the 30s. If we magically get into 29, that'd be awesome, but I doubt it. So last run of the day. Let's see if we can get a good one. Not too bad. Alrighty, time to get ready for work. Let's go out there and have some fun. Alright, we just got done working. As you can see, we got it loaded up. It was quite a good day. Got a lot of data to know what to do for tomorrow for the first points event. Had a blast driving the car. Got to drive the Golf, got to drive the Z. Chase got to drive the S550. Overall, really good day. Harnesses, got that all situated, got the tire situation. Pretty happy with how the day went. We're gonna head on home, and I will give you a recap once we're back at the house. All right, I am back home finally. What I learned with the car is that it's very rounded. It's not super aggressive like Chase's Z. If you point the car, it darts. If you left foot brake or just brake in general, it will rotate the car. Not that this one doesn't rotate, it's just a wider stance, 305 squared, softer bushing, so it's a little more rounded, has plenty of power. Almost every run we hit rev limiter. We found that it's like 25 to 26 PSI cold, and keep it there when it's hot. That is the pressure on this car that it quite enjoys, so that's where we're gonna keep it. Harnesses kept me in the seat better. The biggest thing I learned for this season is I have to do more braking. I didn't trust the brakes nearly enough, but there is a fine line between good brake and rotates the car in the corner and pushes through and I lose all my time. But playing more aggressive yielded better results than playing soft and being cautious. So at South Bend, we're going to try to warm up the tires in the first run as much as we can. If we have to do a rolling burnout all the way to the first corner, that's completely fine. We got to get heat in the tire as much as we can. We'll monitor the pressures. Overall, it was a really good, fun day. Had plenty of runs. I don't even know how many we got to, 12 to 15 runs. Learned a bunch. Learned a bunch about the car. Pretty feeling confident about it. I quite enjoyed today. It was a great day. Tomorrow's going to be a little warmer. We're going to be at South Bend, so we're going to be on the tarmac. It's going to be a little slower, but a little bit more grippy, hopefully. So I'll catch you guys there on the next video at South Bend's Points 1 event. See ya.